Got 2 ounces of poly mixed up, which is way too much. And gonna put it on here with a 1.3 tip, so it's not very thick. Just cover this spot. Let that flash, and I'll probably put one more coat on and call it good. Pretty exciting stuff, I tell you. So here's what I learned on the hood dent situation. I'm gonna try to show you. I'm not sure it's gonna show up. With the hinge bolted on, if I put pressure on the hinge this way in, it rolls the hood a little bit like that, and that dent pops up. If I push it out that way, it gets worse. So here's the thing. As long as the fenders are in the exact same place as they were before, then once the hood is back on the car, it'll be straight. Now when I took it apart, I labeled all my shims and everything. So in theory, once it all goes back together, it'll be fine. But for some reason, sometimes things just change. Every time you take a car apart and put it back together, take it apart, put it back together, especially after paint, things might be slightly different, and it's not going to take much different amount of pressure on this hinge to pull this hood down and to let's see if I can show it. The dent is right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me put some pressure on the hood. It's hard to do, hold the hood from sliding, hold the camera. I don't think it's showing up on camera. But that's what's going on. Let me try putting some of that on there. You can definitely see the dent right here. Right there. And if I push on the hood here, it's hard. I mean, I don't know how much pressure is on this when it's on the car. But I can pretty much make it look pretty good by pushing that hinge sideways. Then let it off, and it comes back. So it's hard to do here one-handed, but I think what I should do is block this out, maybe fill that, and then after I get it straight with no pressure on it, put pressure on it and see if it stays straight or if it makes a high spot. I really don't know. It's one of those stupid situations. Ideally, there wouldn't be that much pressure pushing the hinge, which I never realized there was. Everything fits pretty good. The gaps are good. This is the side that has the aftermarket fender. Whether that has anything to do with it, I don't really know. But in theory, I'm saying theory a lot. You could always add shims behind this hinge if I needed to add pressure to this later when it goes back together. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't want to leave that there. I want to fix it now, but I don't know what it's going to do. It might be fine if I make it straight without pressure on it. It might be fine even when there is pressure on it. I think that's probably the case. So that might be the direction I go. We'll never know, but anyway, I did confirm that it was straight when it was bolted onto the car. Dumb. This is just part of the fun. Alright, so what I've realized is this is going to be what it is. I made it straighter with no pressure on it, and then it's fine to a point when you put pressure on it. If you put too much pressure on it, it will actually poke it up right here a little bit. And then our good buddy Jimmy brought up a good point. You see how thick these hinges are down here? These don't flex at all. Like, you push the hinge in here, it's going to bend the hood here because the hinge isn't going to give. Unlike a factory hinge, it's just a stamped piece of metal right here. It has some flex in it. So with a factory hinge, that would not do that to this hood. But with these, it's definitely going to flex the hood versus the hinge. So that's all that is, and this is what it's going to be. I can't make this any straighter. I don't feel comfortable making this perfectly straight, because then I know when I put it on the car it's going to be up a little bit. So I think I blocked it out. You can see where the low spot was. I'll reprime this one more time, and it'll be the happy medium between both, and it's just going to be good enough. You can get this 3M spray gun cleaner at Harbor Freight for like $9.99, which is pretty much cheaper than you can buy it anywhere that I've found. So there's other brands. There's that one. There's this one. It's pretty handy. Works pretty good. So I blocked out that little spot of poly with some 320. And now I've got my interface pad on my DA with some 600. And I'm going to go over both these fenders. Pretty much something like that. Just go over the whole thing, and refines your 320 scratch a little bit. And if you're not good at sanding into these body lines and curves, it'll kind of get rid of all those, if you have any lines going up into them. So it's I find it works pretty good. Now's a good time to find stuff like that you missed. You don't want to final prime over that, so go ahead and either block that out, or if you can't, put a little bit of glaze in there, sand it out, and continue on. Then these are going to be ready to prime. One fender is ready, and just like the hood, things can change when you unbolt them. And the inner fenders were bolted into this, so I can't really pay too much attention to how this looks. But it's pretty good. And one thing about the hood, some people think, nobody YouTube wise, people I know, like I'm being too picky. The thing is about that little dent back there, or wave, or whatever you want to call it, if it was on your typical average paint job, or restoration even, it'd be fine. But when you try to take things to the next level and make them really straight, something like that will stand out really bad versus a normal everyday car that is full of stuff like that. so you don't notice it because it's just how it is. It's also kind of how they were when they were new. So once you've decided to take it this far, you pretty much have to stay with that theme and head that direction the whole way through. Is this perfect? No, but it's nice enough to where that would be an issue if it was there when the car was done. And it may be there. And if it is, I don't think it will be. It's not going to be perfectly straight. There might be a little wobble there, but not an actual like low spot like a dent. A lot of times when you see stuff like that, like I was telling my boss about it, and he's like, oh, it must be a soft spot there. And that is not the case. This is extremely strong right here. The metal's tight. I mean, I can't even push it down. It's just there's so much pressure when you push that hinge in that it bends the whole side of the hood down. And that's just how it reacts right here. But anyway, when I prime the fenders, I'm going to spot some more primer in on this side, and then it's going to sit with everything else, and it's going to be what it is. And when we put the car together, I may be able to shift the hood around. There's not a lot of room to shift this hood one way or another on the hinge. It fits pretty tight, and the bolts that go through the slots in the hinge. But there may be a little wiggle room to where I can adjust the amount of pressure that's on it. So, but anyway, that's just, there's not a lot I can do about that. Enough rambling. I got to get the other fender sanded, get these hung up and ready to prime. I really thought I'd have more room in here with this being the only project in here. But it is in the way. If I could put it outside, I'd set up the doors over there. Not that I couldn't put the doors over here. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna do the fenders and that spot on the hood. And then do the doors. Maybe that front bumper filler. Gotta take that rear filler off the car still. And then I'll just have the body left. And the cowl flap. But anyway, there you go. I'm not going to probably prime these tonight. It is, I could. I don't know. We'll see. I'll start covering the car up and this motor and these gauges for the K10 that I forgot to cover last time that are now blue. Anyway, you know what I mean.